A Mason. Definitely, there's definitely some Masonic stones. Look how vandalized some of these stones are.
Well, it may not be vandalism. I mean, it could just be old age and wind. And
A lot of wind and snow. I'm going to run some EVPs, some EMF. Doesn't seem to be any EMF. Good thing there's no power lines crossing the cemetery. Wow. I'll have to get a picture of the flowers. I don't know how flowers can grow. I mean, it's very cold out here.
Somewhere up here in Northern California, they have fields and fields of poppies.
Well, I can find out where. This is amazing. This cemetery is just gorgeous. For those that are looking at the film, look at this one. Look, I know. Look how beautiful this is. Look, I forgot to change my shoes. Oh my God. I'm in slippers in the cemetery. Oops. Sorry. I didn't want to wear slippers. Wow, purple flowers everywhere. Just fields of them. This is limestone. It erodes very quickly, and then you cannot read the names. But see what they did, see this one here, to actually make the gravestone cost a little more affordable, they would put a marble face on it, and the rest would be limestone. You can see how weathered it is from the rain, and then all of a sudden it's a shiny marbled finish. Let me see, I'll tell you. Children. The little ones are usually children buried next to...
At the end of all of them have. I think they're footstones.
Footstones? Okay, Tammy just pointed out something. She says these are footstones. I thought, well, in some cemeteries they'll put a little grave next to their parents because a lot of children died, and children usually get these little tiny stones like you see here. I'm just going to take it row by row. Look at that old statue up there. I hope you got your camera, man. It's a good black and white up there. Huh? Oh, Jared. Maybe you should give Tammy the camera. Let her take some black and whites. These are gorgeous stones, man. I'd like to get some black and whites myself. I'm going to videotape for our members and our viewers. And everybody who watches and supports us, thank you. Because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't film no videos. When I come to places like that, everybody watches my videos. They get to be a part of the investigation. And even if it's not a paranormal investigation, sometimes it turns out we get EVPs or an apparition. But no less, this is history. And so people can see what a true Sierra Nevada's Pioneer Cemetery looks like. Here, LR footstone. That Louis Romano, and it says LR. Age 65. Romano, husband and wife and child. Many children had perished. When yellow fever and other epidemics came in, Spanish flu, children died. They were the most susceptible, and the elderly. Your lifespan was cut short if you lived in this country. We're surrounded by cliffs and steep mountains. And I'll take you through the cemetery if I can, because I really want you to get a feel for it. Masonic grave, Thomas Walker, 1887, 60 years old. The older the Mason, the more beautiful buildings and gravestones they had sculpted. A lot of beautiful gravestones. There's some newer ones too. But where else are you going to see? I mean, come on, think about it. I'll work my way up from the top, and then I'm going to close the video and do a photography session and an EVP session. As you can see, I left my shoes in the truck, and I am currently wearing slippers. I'm a real fashionist when it comes to paranormal investigations and exploring, aren't I? Hope I don't step on anything sharp. A lot of sharp twigs and pieces of wood, and at least there's no nails. I stepped on a nail last week ago. I felt it going through my foot and stopped. And it healed up nicely. But if I'd have had gotten an infection or blood poisoning, I could have died if it wasn't treated. And people in the Wild West step on a nail, get an infection, and here's a baby. Here's an example right here. Of course, Sirocco is named after, there's a saloon. And I don't know if I can get a photo. It's somewhere near the cemetery, just below the hill. But it's a very well-renowned name here in the cemetery. I'm continuing to climb the hill. These gravestones are gorgeous. It's just a beautiful cemetery. It's a little steep. It's on the side of Sierra Buttes, which is a very large mountain. Massive. There's a couple hiking trails to the top. Look at the ornate wrought iron. This is a true cemetery. We'll be visiting 2 cemeteries. I gave you a brief history of the town. I will give you more when we walk downtown, an in-depth history. Actually, I'll give you more history when we're on the Yuba River. If we can get to the parking area, which is just a block from here, I will give you guys the whole rundown of Sierra County. I could tell you one thing. In this town, Clampus Vitus originated from here. Everybody knows that. I don't even have to explain it. But indeed, a lot of flowers. The air is very thin here. But this is a beautiful place. It's an amazing place. We should honor it. And then, of course, as we come to the top of the hill, there's a fence. Not to say deer don't come through here all the time. There's deer signs all over. There's plenty of wildlife. We seen a deer cross the road as we entered the Yuba Pass. Ran right out in front of me. You know, keep in mind, folks, this is God's country. If you can't admire history, what can you admire? History needs to come first before hauntings and ghosts. We know ghosts exist. We've proven it 1,000,000 times. So we're not really here for the ghost. If we happen to come across some EVPs or an interesting photo, we'll definitely share it. But this is a beautiful place. And I'll take you to that lone grave back there, but I want to get some photos first. And we'll continue to walk around. A lot of wrought iron. This grave's amazing. The pedestal is all off. You can see this grave's about to tip over. They used to put a bar in the middle to hold it up. But if that bar gets rusty and starts to bend, this whole grave site will tip over. Very amazing. Wow. Cool. Which is right behind the tree.
I asked the boys, I'm like, don't you ever read the names to see if there's someone that maybe you're related to?
There is a name I found. It's the name of the pub down there. The child's buried here, but their parents owned that tavern in the 1800s. The child's buried here. So I do recognize the names of like the inns and the old places. A lot of those people.
Are those?
Oh yeah. It's beautiful. Gorgeous.
Daffodils?
Daffodils, oh yeah. So the monument is in the center of the cemetery. Then you have these stones. This lone stone is a little odd. Justine. Oh yeah. We arrived here in a couple hours. It's only like 88 miles from Lake Tahoe. It's just Northern California region, which I live near Northern California, but I've never been this far into Northern California, and I have to say, I love it. Look. Oh, that's a red leaf. Just want to show you, I want to show our viewers that there's a gravestone here, 2 years, 5 months, and 15 days old, 1884, Alice Blanche Sunderhouse. And as you can see, it's, you know, it's a little bit creepy. The eyes are just like, whoa. I could imagine coming to this place at night must be really spooky. Some of these graves just feel like they're looking at you. I just want to say peace. We've pretty much covered the whole cemetery. I took pictures of the most prominent grave sites and a lot of pictures of the cemetery in full and team shots. And I've noticed one thing about this cemetery, besides being scenic and full of flowers, purple flowers, it's absolutely, this is what it's about. People died in the avalanches. Some kids, some adults were buried, were asphyxiated, and ended up dying. The town used to be way up on the mountain, so you could see the avalanche would come down and wipe it out. There's been avalanches that come down off of this peak too. For 50 years, avalanches killed people, and people died. So some of these people that are buried here may have died in avalanches and mining accidents. But half of the cemetery, I mean half, is children, like this gravestone and epitaph you see here. Wow. I'm going to get a picture of the boys on our way out. Here's some old pioneer stones. 1882, 1883. 47 years old. 9 months old. 26 days. A child and their father or mother. I'm not sure if August is a female or a male name. It could be a female. It doesn't say. I like how they put on the gravestones 47 years. Then it'll say 7 months and 18 days. Pretty accurate. We're going to head out of the cemetery. Let me just check one more grave site and then we can leave. You can see that this video is in segments, because at times I'll stop videotaping to do a photography or EVP session. There's downtown, Sierra City. I've seen at least 20 historic buildings. We will walk downtown. We'll park somewhere and I'll take photos of the buildings and cobblestones so you can get a feel for the town. Actually, the whole point of this expedition is to kind of show you this area we're going to be working with. Eventually we'll do haunted places here. There's about 100 different hikes. There's 50 different lakes. Pacific Crest Trail crosses. There's multiple peaks. A lot of Bigfoot activity. And this is kind of an introduction. And anything that we put on our site after will be separate expeditions. This will all go together with the town. Because surrounding the town are mountains, and all these mountains contain mines, hiking areas, Bigfoot intense sighting areas, and we want to kind of introduce you to it all. Even that's kind of historic ahead. So it's a beautiful cemetery, and we need to make sure that we take good care of it and enjoy all it has to offer. Generally with my cemeteries now, what I do is produce one 20-minute video and just walk around so you can kind of get a feel of what this place looks like, size-wise, terrain, type of gravestones. Here's one, Joan Garcia, 1905, gone but not forgotten. Sometimes when I go to cemeteries, I always feel like it's important to visit these people, because without them, there would be no Wild West. These are the people that worked the mines, built the town. Oh, that's a pretty flower. A lot of flowers here. Let's check this out. Wow. Look at that. Sorry about my string. It actually goes around my neck because I sometimes drop my camera, so we got to prevent that. So Lord Rick, we're heading almost out. I'll get a couple pictures of the front gates, and we'll go to our next destination, which is the Yuba River Trail Walk, which actually that trail can go to Downeyville. It's about 20-30 miles probably from here, but still. Can you imagine taking a river trail with waterfalls and rapids? I'm going to take you guys to some waterfalls today. Let's do it. Let's go to a couple lakes. Let's Chase that squatch. Is Lord Rick. And by the way, it's no point in getting EMF. There's a transformer up there, so I'm not going to even run EMF.
Transformer?
But if I get some EVPs, I'll put them on the site.
Flowers.
A lot of walls, a lot of stonework. Cemetery was built with native stone.
You know what it reminds
The
me of?
cobblestone.
Spanish cemetery.
It does, but it's on, the mountain is right up there. The peak is behind the cemetery. And there's like 3 ways to go up there. You could almost take a road to the top. The Pacific Crest Trail goes to the top of the buttes. And there's mines up there and mining equipment and rusty ore carts, all kinds of things. Here's an old one here. Wow. A lot of leaves. Does not appear the cemetery is well maintained. It works for me. It's history. It's exactly what this is. 18 years, 6 months, 12 days. Sad. Just a lot of kids buried here, man. Looks like we came here and I spent a good hour roaming the cemetery. We're heading out. Took a lot of EVP, a lot of pictures, even some nature. And this is going to be added in with the town itself because we're doing a story on the town just to give you an introduction that this is the gateway into the Northern Sierras. And our viewers never seen the Northern Sierras, so you guys are going to get a different experience today. Totally, man. We're out of here. Peace.